It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show, sponsored by Kia.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, happy to be here with my friends, and I mean that, my buddies, my pals, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Milwaukee Bucks at BMO Harris Bradley Center. Well, for the Bucks, no question, they've got this game penciled in as a win, but they still have to go out and make plays. They'll look to grab an early lead and get this one over with early. Jason Kidd and winning have gone together throughout his entire playing career. And it's been the case so far with his coaching career as well, hasn't it, Shaq?
Yeah, it reminds me of the great Phil Jackson. He could be tough on his players, but he's really fair with them. Values defense and playmaking from his group.
Yeah, one thing you could say about Kidd, early on in his coaching career, that teams tended to overachieve. But now he's exceeding expectations.
This kid can coach.
Even though they're like getting killed right now. But
all valid points. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Why are you always kidding around?
And now, introducing your Milwaukee Bucks. That's small forward, 6 feet 7 inches, number 21. Starting at shooting guard, standing 6'5", number 13. At the second position, standing 6'11", number 31, John Henson. At the other forward position, standing 6'8", number 12, John Once again, your Milwaukee Bucks.
Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports, a special Martin Luther King Day edition. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. You can feel the energy here in the BMO Harris Bradley Center. The Bucks looking to please their fans in this Eastern Conference matchup. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Philadelphia this year. In the season before, they completely controlled the series 3-zip.
And they swept the season series against them last year. They really did have the upper hand.
And I think that's where it starts, guys. Neither team a playoff factor, but you work your way up the ladder team by team. And this is really one matchup they feel very confident with.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. We've got Robert Covington, Ilyasova out there with Embiid, and it's McConnell in at the point. And last season, Jason Kidd had to have hip surgery, which caused him to miss a large portion of the season. Casual fans might think, why can't he just sit and coach? But there's a physical toll to coaching, as we all know.
Absolutely there is, guys. I mean, constant moving, the traveling, engaging in practice, film watching, which requires a lot of sitting. I mean, coaching an NBA team is very stressful and demanding. And hip surgery, any type of surgery for that matter, can definitely have an impact on your ability to perform as a coach. I'm actually glad to see Jason Kidd fully recovered and back to coaching his team. He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Parker sets the screen for Henson. The feed now to Parker. Back to Henson. 5 on the clock. And slam dunk by Henson.
Phenomenal court vision by Parker. He really has all the tools to be a great player in this league.
McConnell kicks to Stauskas. 76ers moving the ball around. And the shot goes in from Embiid.
And I love the fact that he didn't have to slow down or adjust there. The pass was just timed perfectly.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. Passes to Brogdon. Beyond the arc. That one's rebounded by Embiid.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Now here's Ilyasova. His last outing, he had 18 points. Pass to Covington, expanding his range. Gets that one to fall after missing his first two. 1 for 3 from the field.
How about the alertness of Covington? I mean, sensing the separation from the defense and then cashing in on that space that was created.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Antetokounmpo's got his second basket. McConnell kicks to Embiid. Ilyasova with the ball. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Fades. Embiid, no good.
I think in that situation, it was a nice try to create some space for himself with the fadeaway.
Pass to Antetokounmpo. Goes up on the high post. The shot missing. And it's Philadelphia the other way. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the strike clearly had an impact on that game.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one. And, you know, when you talk to other players on his team, Joel Embiid has one of those infectious personalities. I mean, he's fun-loving, always upbeat and positive, and doesn't mind a good joke or two. He and his team have needed that upbeat outlook at times this year.
He hits the second from the line. And you talk about Embiid's playful nature. There were some rumors that the Sixers weren't overjoyed with his dedication rehabbing from that foot injury.
Yeah, he showed some immaturity in regards to sticking with his diet and also following the doctor's orders for the rehab on his foot. What ended up happening was they sent him to a state-of-the-art sports rehab facility in the Middle East. I think in part for the culture that existed there. It was all high-level athletes working to get back into action.
Here's Embiid. Following the score by John Henson. It's good. Embiid's got 7 points.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. Henson with the screen. Henson sets a screen for Antetokounmpo. Swiped away. Here's Covington. Antetokounmpo defending. Covington's shot is off.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. No good off the back of the rim.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Covington's shot is off.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Here's Snell, looking for his first basket still in this one. And that one's good, Brogdon.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from three.
Here's McConnell for 3. Covington. Rebound by Parker.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, they don't get much uglier than the quarter he's having.
Yeah, and it's not showing any signs, Greg, of turning around here soon. I mean, his touch has basically gone AWOL.
Count it, good.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
McConnell kicks to Ilyasova. He dishes it to Covington. miss by Philadelphia.
And another miss. He's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession. And let's look now at the group of young players that have been locked in from the charity stripe. Your leading rookie free throw shooters of the past month. Second, Joel Embiid. In the third spot, Dario Saric.
And they're both just fundamentally sound. And their success at the free throw line, I think, bears that out.
Yeah, and it's something you've got to work on, though, Greg. We can't discount that piece of the equation. Quite frankly, a lot of rookies have too much other stuff to deal with. But these two are zeroed in.
Here's McConnell. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Embiid, and Embiid throws it down.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish. Well, in the NBA draft, there's a train of thought that you draft for talent, not for need. The Sixers adhered to that and created a bit of a log jam at the center position as a result.
A different look for Milwaukee. Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Henson. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Brogdon. Sarge is checked in for Philadelphia. And so it's Milwaukee now. And for the Sixers, a lot of talent in the front court, but you knew the time would come where they need to balance the roster.
Exactly. I mean, with Okafor, Embiid, and Noel, all natural centers, come on, just not enough minutes for all of them. And when you box yourself in like that, it can make it tough sometimes to get the value you'd like to get in a trade.
Now, here's Sarge. Greg Monroe unable to get his shot to go. And it's out of bounds. The 76ers able to retain possession here. Mirza Teletovic is checked in for Milwaukee. Terry comes in for Tony Snell. Nerlens Noel checks in for the 76ers. Henderson comes in for Stauskas. Henderson, no one around him. Here's Saric. And Count Kabasky is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound, and once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
Rodriguez is checked in for Philadelphia. For Philadelphia, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
And guys, that allows their opponents to play very aggressive defense if they choose to, knowing it's not a bad thing to send them to the foul line.
So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And taking a look now at the stats for Dellavedova. His last 10 games, he's around 6 points per game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
Yeah, great hustle, does all the little things. Just a good complimentary guy to have on your team.
First one falls for him. And when Greg Monroe signed with Milwaukee, many thought it was a perfect fit. However, as we saw after a short time, many question if he can be the answer for the team. Not so much a knock on his play, just on what the team is missing overall.
Hey, Greg does an awful lot of good things, but he's not a guy who's going to be a rim protector. His game is pretty close to the ground. But nonetheless, no matter what team Monroe plays for, I think he'll give you a post presence on offense, and he'll give you consistent effort in every aspect of the game.
Now here's Rodriguez. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And even under pressure in close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the 76ers?
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Now here's Terry. The dish to Teletovic. Here's Monroe. Good work there as it goes.
Man, impressed by the strength of Monroe there. Just ridiculous concentration to take the hit and get the shot to go. There's one word that you would use to describe Greg Monroe: consistency. Game to game, year to year, you know what he's going to give you. Doesn't vacillate or fluctuate much. He eats minutes and shows up to play his game each and every night.
Now here's Rodriguez with the teardrop, and the layup is up and in. Rodriguez has got his first points of the game.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Noel against Monroe. He kicks to Teletovic. Teletovic, the screen. Just 5 to shoot. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And Philadelphia gets called for the foul. And with Monroe, the consistency is in the numbers. Guys, pretty much he has had the same season stat line every year he's played since his rookie year.
And I love the fact that it's a combination of his consistency and versatility that allows him to be extremely valuable on any team.
That free throw missing.
Well, you know, the Bucks only have one title in their history as a franchise, but what a title it was, led by my favorite player of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, known as Lou Alcindor back in the day, teamed up with the veteran Oscar Robertson, the Big O, to bring the Bucks that first title.
Good on the second free throw. And you have to mention that 1971 title run by the Bucks. They were a force nobody could stop. Swept the finals in 4 games straight over the Baltimore Bullets.
Yeah, had 66 wins in that season as well, guys, and that was early in my formative years as a basketballer. Actually, when I first started locking into the NBA, a big Lou Alcindor fan. He was the 71 MVP in that championship year for the Bucks, and then he'd go on to win another MVP the following season. And ironically, those are the only 2 MVP trophies that a Buck has ever received.
Here's Beasley following the basket by Gerald Henderson. Stolen by Henderson. The pass to Rodriguez. To the left side wing. 4-3, Covington. He can't get that one, and Milwaukee will come the other way. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And that was one of the few times that you'll see a team just lack fight defensively in losing that game.
Yeah, and I know their fans may not want to hear it, but the reality and the truth is the defensive end of the floor was not what it needed to be in terms of effort.
And the Bucks miss again.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Offensive rebound. Pass to Rodriguez. Kicks it to Noel. Dishes to Saric. Here's the screen. Henderson passes to Noel. They get a hand on it. Shot clock at 6. Back to Henderson. And Saric kicks to Covington. Here's Rodriguez. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the 76ers.
And the long-range game, a staple for them offensively. It's clear they embrace the value of that extra point, and spacing the floor, something they look to do every time they're on the court.
Roof shot.
The first one falls. Both good from the line that time. Well, the Philadelphia 76ers overseeing one of the most drastic and methodical rebuilds in NBA history over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, and you know, they set league records, guys, for losing along the way. And eventually, amidst the league-wide criticism, ownership decided to change course and shake up the front office. You know, it's easy to find fault with the process, but it is true the team is in a better position now than it was back in 13.
1:44 left here in the opening quarter. Now here's Terry. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. Monroe, no good.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
And Sarge kicks to Covington. That one misses. Excellent D there from Beasley.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
The wide open look here for Terry. Sinks the triple. The 76ers lead. Rodriguez passes to Sarge. To the left wing. Here's Noel. And a great assist by Rodriguez as that one goes in.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Now here's Beasley. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Well, you look at the length and the hands of the players in the Bucks roster. They can absolutely hound you on the defensive end, force a lot of turnovers when they crank it up.
Tell you what, there are very few teams, guys, that have the combination of length and speed that the Bucks possess. And because of that, they can pressure teams into turnovers at a high rate. And when they do that, they're at their best defensively. And clearly the Bucks, one of the more youthful teams in the league. The players they plan to build around have a few years before they're even in their mid-20s, so a bright future. I mean, their youth can be good and bad. It kind of cuts both ways during the season.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Okafor's checked in. And the second free throw, good. And with the double-edged sword of youth, the Bucks have just been trying to focus on getting better and growing their talent the last year or two.
And I like that approach. I think it's the right approach to take with a team like this. Getting them to learn what it takes to be a consistent player in the NBA is huge. I mean, letting them come together organically and having leaders emerge has been part of the process. It takes a little longer that way, but I think it is more of a solid foundation when you start competing in playoff basketball.
17 seconds left in the first quarter. Now Rodriguez. He feeds it to Saric. The fader. Not going to go that time. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. 76ers lead by 3. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And we heard from John Henson before the game, a player on the rise. He feels he still has a lot to prove.
Defensively, offensively, I think I'm better offensively than people give me credit for, and I'm stronger than I look. And that's something that I'm trying to prove this year, as I've been proving the last 3 or 4, so it's going to be fun.
Well, it sounds like he still feels like he has something to prove, Greg, but seems to me he's already known for being that kind of guy.
It's a great point. Anybody who plays against him knows he looks plenty strong when you're banging with him. But if he needs to push and motivate himself by playing with a chip on his shoulder, well, a lot of guys have gone a long, long way in this league using that method.
Thanks again for joining us, and welcome back to our special Martin Luther King Day presentation of the NBA. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
Well, they've dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and you know, they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Philadelphia, they've got Stauskas. Sarge is out there with Henderson. Then there's Okafor, and it's McConnell in at the point guard. Parker with a clean look, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. Parker's got 5.
Man, he's just such a smart shooter, is Parker. Noticing the defense was backing off of him just a little too much, he took advantage of it and made them pay dearly.
Here's McConnell, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Henderson kicks to Stauskas. Pass to McConnell. The tray. Rebound, Milwaukee. Outside, out of the Kumbo. Tries again. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Man, what hustle from Monroe. I mean, this is a guy that gobbles up second chance opportunities for his team thanks to his gigantic size.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for Sarge. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Bucks?
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
Yeah, also something I like out of them so far, they're throwing their bodies around in the paint, and the physicality is taking its toll.
Now here is Dellavedova. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game from the baseline. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. On to Tacumbo's got the lead up to 5 now for Milwaukee. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Okafor dishes to Stauskas. His first attempt of the game finds the target. Stauskas has got his first 2 points.
The confidence of Stauskas is really sky high, and it's infectious. I mean, if he has an open shot, he's going to take it every time, as he should.
The 76ers trail by 3. Feeds to Henderson. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Here's McConnell, defended by Dellavedova. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Okafor making headlines at times last season for the wrong reasons. Brawling with some hecklers, traffic violations. Guys, does that concern you if you're trying to build your team around him?
I don't think so. Clearly, it's something you want to be mindful of, but he's still young, still growing into being a professional player. We heard a lot of good things about his character in college. I think what you look at now is, has he learned and will he grow from some of these missteps? You don't want to see a pattern of that type of behavior, and I don't think you will.
Henson checked in for the Bucks. Tony Snell comes in for Matthew Dellavedova. He's perfect from the line this time.
And Jahlil Okafor, kind of a throwback big man. I mean, already a virtuoso on the low block. He's got terrific hands, excellent footwork, moves, and counter moves.
On to Tacumbo, passes to Parker. Unloads from 13. Almost, but it rolls out.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Chris Middleton is a prototype off guard. He likes to run off screens, catch, and shoot. He described his mindset saying, just space the floor, be patient, not force anything, and move the ball. Let those guys penetrate and find the best shot for the team. Team player indeed, Kevin.
Thanks, D.A., and he's developing his postgame. He can get in the paint now when they need him to. And post-ups are losing favor in the league lately. Do you think, guys, Okafor's talents fit the way the game is played now?
Well, I clearly think his post-game does have value. I mean, nowadays you just have less room to operate. I think he'll need to find other ways to help his team offensively, offensive boards, stretching the floor, things like that.
That free throw missing.
And already Okafor has become a dominant big man in the association. Has a good number of post moves to choose from, in addition to a nice jump hook
one drops. He ties it up.
The Sixers had one of the worst records in NBA history last season, but not the worst. That record is held by the Sixers, who managed just 9 wins back in 72-73.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. It was rumored that other NBA owners lobbied the league's front office to intervene and change the direction of the Sixers last season.
Very interesting, but you think they'd be happy to take that easy win on the schedule, but in the end, I think economics were at play here. Ticket sales lagged when the Sixers came to town, and you're only as strong as a league as your weakest teams are. So the revenue sharing, the weak earnings from a big market like Philly, I think had an effect on everybody. Part of why that sentiment was rumored to be percolating.
Nerlens Noel checks in for Philadelphia. That one is no good. You look back on the history of the Bucks, and it's just so rich with some of the biggest names in NBA history. So many great names that got their start or played some great basketball one time or another for the Bucks.
Well, 2 of the biggest names in the history of the game. I mean, when you talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the big old Oscar Robertson, you don't get any bigger than those 2 names. You also have some of the great 2 guards that have played in this league, Ray Allen and Sidney Moncrief. You get the feeling that a few of the current players could end up being viewed as all-time great Bucks as well, particularly Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jabari Parker certainly have the ability to maybe get to that ring of honor in Milwaukee.
Henderson kicks to Ilyasova. Here's McConnell. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
There's the feed to Snell. Pass to Henson. And stolen by Noel. And here's Stauskas from the arc. It's good from long range. Stauskas has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Well, you just can't afford to let Stauskas shake free from outside. A long bomb threat who was remarkably consistent from beyond the arc.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He had a 33-point outing in their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
Boy, was he physical. I mean, in that game, just drawing a lot of contact and getting himself to the line over and over.
Here's Stauskas. And here's Henderson. There's the screen. 6 on the shot clock. He dishes it to Stauskas. And the 76ers get it back. Here's Noel. Excellent D there from Parker.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
And Henson kicks to Antetokounmpo. Henson sets a screen for Antetokounmpo. Bucks passing it around. Back to Parker. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Parker's got 7 points in the game.
Even with the D up against him, Parker is good at keeping his focus. Doesn't lose sight of what he's trying to get done down there. Nice touch. And that touch really is something you can't teach.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Parker. Parker with another miss.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Here's McConnell. He averages about 5 points a game. Goes up on the high post. And that one comes up a bit short. Bucks have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. Brogdon the pass to Parker. There's the dish to Antetokounmpo. Back to Parker. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Parker's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Bucks. And the 76ers decide to take their first timeout here. And everyone knows about Jabari Parker and how he has come back from a ACL knee injury he suffered as a rookie. The more time that passes from that ACL tear, the more explosive Parker looks on the floor, I think. Looks like he never, in fact, had any issues at all.
Yeah, that's a great point and a good observation. And I think his explosiveness has surprised a lot of people. This is a guy that's got power, going to the basket, and can finish through contact. And, man, he's a guy that I think is going to be a big-time scorer for a long time.
A different look for Milwaukee. Mirza Teletovic is checked in for Parker. Beasley comes in for Antetokounmpo, and it's Terry in for Brogdon. Philadelphia also making some changes. Embiid, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Robert Covington comes in for Stauskas, and Rodriguez is subbed in for T.J. McConnell. Philadelphia has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And there's the pass to Henderson. Embiid the screen. The 76ers with another miss. Milwaukee's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Embiid with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Henderson's got it. A second chance effort. Offensive rebound. And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Innovation and improvisation right there, Greg. Finding a way to get that shot to fall after taking the contact.
For Philadelphia, they have shot 8 of 10 from the line. That's an even 80% free throw shooting here.
Well, I tell you what, so much excitement to see Joel Embiid finally on the hardwood, regarded as the likely #1 overall pick in the 2014 draft before he fractured a bone in his foot. He's finally getting a chance to show what he can do on the court.
Really good job on the inside that time. I mean, he had to work for that rebound, and he got it done.
Henderson with it. He kicks to Embiid from beyond the arc. That's the 6th make from the field. He's taken 9 shots and missed but 3. And for Embiid, 2 separate surgeries on his foot, missing years of action. You hope he can find a way to stay healthy.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with you there, Kevin, but it's difficult when you're as big as he is. He's a 7-footer, and that puts a lot of pressure on the feet, and he's already seen a couple of issues where he's missed time. Reminds you a little bit of guys like Bill Walton, Yao Ming. Those guys had a tough time playing a long time because of foot problems, but if Embiid can stay healthy, I think he's got a chance to be truly special.
That's good from Henson.
You know, the Sixers rebuild caught a lot of flack around the league, but people might forget where the Sixers were in 2013 when the team decided to rebuild. They hadn't had a winning season since 2004. Injuries and failed trades had gutted their roster. It was time to hit the reset button.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. And the Sixers, for 3 seasons, showing a single-minded focus on rebuilding through the draft. They took a long-term view and sacrificed short-term success. Just saw them get the #1 overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, and the goal really was not just to be a solid team. They wanted the star talent to compete for titles when it was all said and done. Now, again, it's difficult to watch. The journey's been hard. I understand the thinking, and we'll see if it pays off the way they envisioned.
And so he makes both from the line. And head coach Brett Brown last season receiving a 4-year extension from the Sixers. Despite that, an office turnover put his job in question.
Yeah, and I think a lot of coaches around the league are very protective of Brett Brown because they saw what he was going into and knew it was going to take a while. He's presided over such a drastic rebuild. I think he deserves to have the chance to see it through so he can maybe reap some of the fruit of the sacrifice that he's made and the franchise has made and the way they've tried to build the team.
Bucks trail by 4. Terry kicks to Henson. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That one on Embiid.
Looking at the numbers for John Henson, he has 8 points and a pretty good rebounding performance from him also.
And Clark, he's been terrific in terms of his positioning and boxing out very well also, just battling hard on every possession.
That's good from Henson. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Tony Snell. Henson hits them both. Philadelphia's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. You see a chart here for the shooting performance so far.
Well, you have to think that he is going to look to go to the rim a little more often going forward because the 3 ball just hasn't been there. Sometimes it seems he's not getting his feet set or rushing his shooting motion, but either way, it just ain't falling.
And the first one at the line is good. The Bucks making a switch here. Monroe's checked in. And he can't hit the second. Bucks trail by 3. That's a 2 from Dellavedova. And the Bucks miss again.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Or the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
Covington passes to Rodriguez. Beasley with the steal. Now here's Teletovic. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Beasley sets a screen for Terry. Back to Beasley. The Bucks have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
And comparing to the numbers of last season, they've made a bit of improvement, so that's some positive momentum they can look to build on.
No good on that one. And the second free throw, good. The 76ers leading. Now Henderson. 6 points for him. Here's Embiid. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Terrific work by Embiid. 8 rebounds, and he's rejected a shot over the course of the game, too.
And it easily could have been more. He's played an effective game at that end of the floor.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line.
And on the season, he's just a shade under 80 from the line. I'll bet he'd like to get that up over that mark.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Bucks trail by 3. 1:57 left here in the second. Embiid with the steal. And now Philadelphia on the break. Covington dishes to Henderson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. No good on the free throw.
And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
And the second free throw, good. The Bucks have gone 8 of 15 since we began the second quarter. Excellent shooting. Kicks it to Beasley. Teardrop shot. Got a piece of it. And here we go. Fast break. Henderson's got it. Pull-up jumper. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, after a first quarter where they struggled from long range, they've really started to get it closer to the basket.
Yeah, and that's a nice adjustment on their part, Greg. Even for the best three-point shooting team,
Find the lane.
Sometimes you've got to do a little something different to get your offense going.
Bucks trail by 7. We've got 1:28 left to play here in the second quarter. Milwaukee, no good that time either. Philadelphia's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Covington in the corner. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Covington's got 6.
The three-point stroke of Robert Covington is really a thing of beauty. You can't let him get loose from the outside. He's dangerous.
Now here is Dellavedova. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And all right, a chance to check out stats for Covington. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's averaging 11 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And fellas, I would say he's been overachieving a little bit lately. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things for the future.
The free throw drops for Monroe.
And what a game for Monroe. He has 11 points and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
Clark, 5 pretty big points indeed.
Okafor is checked in for Embiid. And so Greg Monroe nails both of them.
And among NBA bigs, he is known for his ability to deliver at the free throw line.
Pass to Saric. Okafor sets the pick for Saric. Stolen by Monroe. And here they come. And here we go. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And Saric kicks to Rodriguez. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beasley. From the inbound. There's 31 seconds left in the second quarter.
Boy, his struggles continue here in the second quarter.
Excellent D there from Beasley. To the paint. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Saric. And here is Rodriguez. He has 7. Dishes it to Saric. 2 on the clock. He can't get that one to fall. And that concludes the first half. 76ers ahead, leading by 8. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here once again, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. They saw their lead grow to a high water mark of 5 in the period. Defensively and offensively, they improved quite a bit in the second quarter, and they've got a nice 8-point halftime lead to show for it. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. As a matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, Keep going, bench guys.
And over to Kenny. Your thoughts on the Bucks?
Well, look, they turn the ball over way too much. You can't do that in the NBA. Teams are just too talented. You can't give them that many possessions. Don't give away the entire game just by giving up an extra few possessions here and there. These guys need to come with more precision in the second half.
And that'll do it, as the second half is just about ready to begin. Back to Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game. Hey, watch yourself.
Celebrating. We're the best.
Happy Martin Luther King Day, everyone, and welcome back as we get going again here at 2K Sports. Joel Embiid has been sensational.
Just a dominating performance in the post by him so far, just tearing them to shreds when he gets it inside.
Yeah, and getting it to him is the only hard part, fellas. I mean, once he has it, he's automatic. Forget about it. He can do work down there.
Bucks trail by 8. The dynamite pair of Antetokounmpo and Parker at forward. Tony Snell is out there with Brogdon. And it's Henson in at the 5 down low. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Jason Kidd. Shot clock at 6. The shot by Brogdon, no good. The 76ers shooting 39% from the floor, at their best. The rebound by Brogdon.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
And when you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo play the one area that he continues to work on, well, it's his shot from range.
Yeah.
He's been given the green light to shoot from beyond the arc, but still needs to develop consistency.
And just thinking about him becoming a proficient three-point shooter, guys, is scary, because then he'll really be hard to deal with. Giannis and his coaches have talked about how important it is to be a threat from deep at the point guard position in this modern NBA where the three ball is so critical to offensive spacing. It's something he's been focusing on, and sooner or later, I think all of his hard work is going to pay off in a big way.
Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo. And Giannis has been deployed at so many different positions in his short career. But one reason why he's been able to pull it off is because of his incredible wingspan, measured at 7'3".
Yeah, it's amazing when you watch this guy play. Giannis is so long, and he's just a whirling dervish of arms and legs and skill. That's why they call him the Greek Freak. I mean, we've not seen anybody with this skill set at this size. The space he covers on offense and defense is really mind-boggling.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo, and that one's good, Brogdon.
You know, even though Antetokounmpo is a bigger guy, longer guy, he handles and passes like a point guard. I mean, he's always on the lookout for how he can set up his teammates for good shots.
Here's McConnell following the 3 by Milwaukee. He feeds it to Embiid. It's thrown by Antetokounmpo. Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. Pass to Snell. Clock at 6. Outside, Antetokounmpo. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Embiid's got rebound number 8 now on the night. McConnell kicks to Embiid. 76ers moving the ball around. 2 points. That one goes.
Maybe with that, the lid on this basket will be lifted for him.
Bucks trail by 5, and it's out of bounds. The Bucks able to retain possession here. And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart.
And this is a grown man shot chart right here. Not too much going on outside, but look at how things are for them in the paint. They are attacking the rim and not settling for the jump shot. And right now, it's paying off in bunches. If I'm them, then I'd continue to do the same thing going forward until an adjustment is made.
And Milwaukee has possession. The 76ers getting the bucket. Parker against Ilyasova. The high post shot.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
The 76ers leading by 5. Stauskas, the pass to McConnell. And Ilyasova kicks to McConnell. Feeds it to Embiid. They set the pick. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And it'll be his 4th time going to the free throw line in the game. And he knocks down the first one. And Embiid drops them both. Bucks trail by 7. Antetokounmpo dishes to Snell. It's Parker top of the key. To the right side. 6 to shoot. In the corner, Snell with it from 11 feet away. And the Bucks miss again.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
Here's Snell. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Parker passes to Brogdon. No good off the front iron.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Parker outside. Back to Henson. Embiid with the steal. Ilyasova inside the line, but he recovers it.
Multiple possessions have been the story of the game, and even with the big lead, this team continues to be quicker to the ball.
Inside. McConnell in the corner. And there's the feed to Embiid. Back to McConnell for 3. Kept alive. They set the screen. 5 to shoot. Here's Embiid. Missed it, even after all those chances. Here's Parker. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got 4 assists in the game. McConnell kicks to Embiid. To the inside. Stauskas got a piece of it. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Down low. Got a hand on it, but they get it back. The shot's good from Henson. Here's McConnell. He's got 6. Pass to Embiid. Back to McConnell. Tries a 3. The shot misses. So Milwaukee will take it the other way.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Here's Brogdon. Makes it off the glass. Now just a 3-point Philadelphia lead.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Here's McConnell. Another miss by Philadelphia.
Well, he's building a house with those bricks. I mean, one reason is he keeps trying to force it up when he's defended well. Move the ball, share the sugar.
Count that one.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Embiid the screen. McConnell passes to Ilyasova. He dishes it to Covington from outside the arc. Here's Embiid, and Henson sends it back. Here's Parker. Henson, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Bucks lead by 1. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Bucks.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And how about the work they're doing also on the offensive glass? Creating those extra opportunities has been critical.
Here's Stauskas following the score by John Henson. Here's Brogdon, and he finishes the break with a lay-in. Brogdon's got 12.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
Start it.
Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Monroe's checked in for Hansen. Mirza Teletovic comes in for Jabari Parker. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Tony Snell. And it's Terry in for Brogdon. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Okafor is checked in for Embiid. Nerlens Noel comes in for Ilyasova. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Robert Covington. And Rodriguez is subbed in for Nick Stauskas. Now here's Henderson. He has 7. And that one's good. Noel.
Man, I like seeing Noel go to work down there. Even in the face of some pretty aggressive defense, he gets the job done.
And you look at Nerlens Noel, 6'11", around 230. He's a little light to play center. Where do you play him, guys? At the 4 or the 5? Where?
Well, I think he actually can play both positions pretty well. Offensively, he's a little limited, but I think long-term, if he adds some weight and strength, I think he could be a dominant center.
Now here is Dellavedova. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. The floater. The putback. Great positioning on the putback. Now it's a 5-point Milwaukee lead.
Boy, this team has really been on the offensive glass here in the second half, doing an outstanding job. And that's one of the reasons they're on top.
The pass to McConnell. To the paint. It's thrown by to Kumbo. Over the corner, Dellavedova. Teletovic. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. Teletovic has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Now here's Rodriguez. There's the dish to Okafor. There's a screen by Noel. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Monroe.
Boy, Okafor is so adept at drawing contact when he's going up for his shot. I mean, the defense has to be wary of him looking to draw fouls.
He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game.
Did he lay an egg at the stripe in their previous game? Couldn't get anything to drop.
Was completely out of sync on his free throws, and I'm sure that led him to some extra work at the foul line. I think it's been a disappointing year for him at the stripe, guys. I mean, he hasn't been as productive as he was last season from there.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Sarge is checked in. And he's good on the second. Bucks leading by 6. Terry dishes to Teletovic. He kicks it to Antetokounmpo. Back to Teletovic. And Teletovic throws it down.
Crafty pass work there, getting it down low for the easy deuce.
And taking care of the ball has been a problem for him.
That's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced.
Now here's Rodriguez. He's got 7. Kicks to Saric. Just 5 on the clock. Noel passes to Rodriguez. Another miss by Philadelphia.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
Terry kicks to Antetokounmpo. Teletovic on top. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Stolen by Saric. And now the 76ers on the break. Saric has got the ball. Henderson dishes to Okafor. Lets it go with a 3. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Antetokounmpo's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for the Bucks. And then for Philadelphia, Nick Stauskas comes in for Gerald Henderson. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Rodriguez. Dellavedova kicks to Terry. Okafor against Monroe. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And here's Stauskas from the arc. That one's rebounded by Dellavedova.
Well, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Here's Saric. He's got 7. Right wing. Here's McConnell. Drains the 3-pointer. McConnell's got 9.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Terry outside. And it's Beasley in the corner. Terry the pass to Teletovic. And that one, good. 8 points for him.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Here's McConnell. He's got 9. Passes it to Noel. Milwaukee with the rebound.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time.
Outside Terry. And it's Terry again missing. The 76ers trail by 7. And Saric kicks to Stauskas. Here's McConnell. Dishes to Saric. Just 3 on the clock. And he sinks the layup.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
The 3rd quarter comes to a close. Bucks lead by 5. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The 4th quarter is coming up next. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Coach Jason Kidd.
Defensively, keep talking, right? Keep helping each other. We get the rebound, go get it early, pick and roll.
And Jason Kidd telling them what it's going to take, all 5 guys communicating on the floor.
And calling for the early pick and rolls, you can get really clean looks that way before that defense is able to kind of lock in.
And thanks for joining us again, folks. 2K Sports broadcasting here on MLK Day, bringing you the NBA. So on the floor for Philadelphia, they've got Nerlens Noel, Ilyasova out there with Saric, and it's McConnell in at the 1.
And Noel really does a nice job in reading angles of shots. He really excels in avoiding box outs because he's so active, and he typically beats guys to important spots near the basket.
Here's McConnell. To the paint. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. So we know Nerlens Noel is a work in progress offensively. What mold guys do you think he should try to fill offensively?
Well, I like his athleticism, as does everybody, so I'd like to see him rolling to the rim and getting out in transition. I think he'd be most effective there. He's also shown some flashes of being effective working in the high post area as a face-up guy, so somewhat in the Tyson Chandler mode is how I see him going forward.
And Antetokounmpo's checked in for Mirza Teletovic. And he can't hit the second.
They'd have loved to cut it to 1 there, but they're still in decent shape if they can get a stop.
Monroe. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
You know, at 6'11", Greg Monroe is no easy cover, especially given his soft shooting touch from mid-range.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And the 76ers making a change here. Embiid's checked in. And so Greg Monroe nails both of them.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
Sarge with it. There's a good screen. McConnell kicks to Sarge. Shot clock at 6. And Embiid throws it down.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Somebody you can count on. He is an extremely reliable finisher.
Yeah, first turnover of the game. Overall, though, he's been rock solid.
Henson's checked in for Monroe. The 76ers also with a sub. Robert Covington's checked in for Sarge. The 76ers trailing. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Embiid the screen. And here's Covington from the arc. Sinks the three-pointer. Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
And that'll be Milwaukee as it goes out of bounds. Bucks retain possession. Outside, Antetokounmpo to the inside. Henson. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game. How it's been going for the 76ers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And I also love what they've done defensively in terms of closing out to the shooters, getting a hand up, just making them feel a little uncomfortable on the offensive end.
And that trip coming up empty, missing both.
Boy, I tell you what, when is he going to start making some free throws, Kevin? This is hard to watch.
And it's good off the back of the rim and in. And it's a 3-point 76ers lead.
This is the kind of player Ilyasova is. I mean, as soon as he has the ball in his hands, he's thinking about letting the shot go.
is Dellavedova. He feeds it to Parker. Over in the corner, onto Kumbo. They can't stop the run with that one. Philadelphia leading by 3. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
And that'll be Philadelphia as it goes out of bounds. 76ers retain possession. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Pass to Covington. Feeds it to Stauskas. Shot clock at 5. Here's Embiid. An easy 2 points on the layup. Embiid's got 4 points this quarter.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just getting the job done when they need to. Make every possession count.
Parker dishes to Antetokounmpo, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 4 assists in the game.
Even when there's defense present. I mean, Antetokounmpo is just a beast. Simply stated, that's what he is. I mean, out-muscles opponents, outsizes opponents, and oftentimes outthinks opponents, too.
Covington's shot is off.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Henson with the screen. Parker outside. Rebound by the 76ers. Embiid's got 14 rebounds tonight. Going after.
Defense better watch out. They better be alert because this guy can make threes, as we saw in the first half.
Now here's Ilyasova. For 3, Covington. Good on the triple. And the 76ers lead by 6.
And, you know, Covington is a pure shooter. When he has the ball, he's looking to let it fly.
Ilyasova against Parker. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. Trying to find Parker. He's got it now.
Parker having a good 8 rebounds, and he's knocked down a pair of 3-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top.
2
and
shots,
let
gentlemen.
him add to that total.
One thing you have to love about Jabari Parker is the level of competitiveness he brings to the court. He is always putting in the extra time at the gym, trying to lead by example on his team. You know, there's just an air, guys, of maturity around this player that you don't see from players his age in this league.
Yeah, well said, Kevin. And I think he brought some of those attributes of maturity and work ethic to the table. But I think his injury enhanced those attributes. And anytime the game is taken away due to injury and you get a chance to get back, I think there's a greater hunger and appreciation. Just to get on the floor, he had to work extremely hard. So I don't think he takes that for granted now. While it was a setback, I think it also was a launching pad for what I think is going to be an all-star career.
Embiid, the pass to Stauskas. And too long on the shot.
Talk about hurting your team. I mean, he just can't get anything to go out there.
Here's Brogdon. Now the feed to Antetokounmpo. Here's Parker, and the dunk by Parker.
And, you know, when Parker finds his comfort zone now, he catches fire rapidly. And the defense really has no answer for him in that case.
McConnell kicks to Stauskas. Pass to Ilyasova. He dishes it to Stauskas. It's tipped. Stolen by Henson. Here's Parker, and the dunk by Parker.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
We've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
One made 3 for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Henson with the screen. Now, Antetokounmpo. Parker dishes to Henson. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. McConnell passes to Stauskas. There's the pick. McConnell kicks to Embiid. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
No good on that one.
Boy, it's been a nightmare at the line for him. He keeps finding himself back at that free throw line over and over again.
And he sinks the second.
Not an A-plus trip to the line, but he did get them the lead.
In the pass to Henson. There's the dish to Antetokounmpo. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Here's Brogdon. Just 5 to shoot. Fade away. That one's rebounded by Embiid. McConnell kicks to Covington. Shoots a 3. Hits it from 3-point range.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Here's Brogdon on the pass to Antetokounmpo to the inside. Here's Henson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Two shots.
And that one misses.
Despite another miss there, you still have to like the way he's been working himself to the free throw line.
Good on the second free throw. The 76ers leading by 3. McConnell kicks to Ilyasova. No good from outside. Milwaukee's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And here is Antetokounmpo. Five on the clock. From deep 3-point range, sinks it. What range from outside? Wow. Antetokounmpo's got the game tied up here for the Bucks. Here's McConnell. He kicks to Embiid. For 3, Covington. Here's Ilyasova. Misses off the left iron.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The battle to a standstill on the boards has really been something to watch, and the game's not over yet. We'll see if one of these teams maintains more energy than the other going down the stretch.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
That's a familiar sight. He hardly ever wastes his chances at the line. Cashes in regularly.
There's the screen. Here's McConnell. To the middle. It's tipped. And so the ball out of bounds. Henson touched it last.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
And here's Ilyasova outside. Sinks the three-pointer. Ilyasova's got 5 points now this quarter.
Just dialed in from the three-point line in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they're putting a world of hurt on him with the triple.
And Henson kicks to Antetokounmpo. Top of the key. And good. He nails it. And the Bucks lead by 1.
That's 3 or 4 from the field for him now, guys, and he's really been a big part of the scoring here in the fourth.
Here's Covington, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And the Sixers leaving roster spots open over the years, trying to find some unheralded talent. Robert Covington is one of those finds. A nice shooting stroke. He can defend either forward position. This guy's got game.
That free throw, no good. And Covington can slide between the 3 or the 4 spot. You got to like that versatility.
Yes, you do, because it gives you a chance to play effectively with the small ball lineup, because he can play the 4 or you can play big with him. For a team with a crowded front court, every little bit of flexibility helps.
He hits the second from the line.
You look at what Covington has done so far. He's got 16 points, and he's unleashed a barrage of three-pointers on him.
And Clark, you can tell they're good right now when the ball leaves his hand. He has racked up a ton of points.
I like Parker's versatility. He can play both forward positions, in part because he's so long and big, and he's got excellent mobility.
And the first one drops. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
And not a single free throw attempt in that first half, but he has been far more active since the break and drawn some fouls.
Here's Stauskas. Here's McConnell. Kicks to Embiid. 6 to shoot. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The first one falls. And Embiid drops them both. Milwaukee's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Passes it to Henson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Bucks lead by 1. And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
McConnell kicks to Stauskas. Dishes to Ilyasova. He feeds it to Stauskas. And here's Covington from the arc. Rebound, Milwaukee. Henson's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Snell from outside. Ilyasova comes up with the rebound. Ilyasova's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. McConnell kicks to Embiid. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
Bucks have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Parker passes to Brogdon. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
2 shots.
It's the first, and that will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
And that was huge right there. Just as cool as he could be, and he's been clutch at the line there in a very tense moment.
McConnell kicks to Embiid. Gets the bucket and the foul. Henson, and so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
Well, luckily they've got some really solid backup. You hate to see a player DQ, disqualified due to fouls, but they can do a decent job of replacing his production.
And the free throw, no good. Shoots from the block, and that one's good. Parker's got 23.
Really impressed by the attitude of Parker, commanding the rock in crucial moments. That's big.
Feeds it to Embiid. Another miss by Philadelphia.
You know what? Those are shots you just hate to miss when you get those kinds of bunnies on a possession.
The 76ers trail by 3. Stauskas, the pass to McConnell. To the paint. Embiid against Monroe. Pass to McConnell. Shot clock at 6. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Covington's shot is off.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
There's 48 seconds left in the game. There's Embiid. Count it! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
I love that plan. Set up the opportunity for the mismatch.
Yeah, knowing they have to get a bucket here and exploiting the height advantage where they can find it, and that's a no-brainer to me.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. It falls!
You know, Monroe's eyes light up whenever his team is looking for a key basket, just taking control of the possession and dominating whoever's in front of him.
And Philadelphia calls time here. They're losing by 5. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Guys, your thoughts?
They need to get a quick bucket here. If there's more than 24 seconds left afterwards, they can try for a stop. If there's less, they'll have to foul.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Brett Brown's huddle with his team. He told them they have to keep fighting. He said, hey, look, we're right here, but we can't make mistakes. You got to be aggressive and smart. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. McConnell kicks to Embiid. Good work defensively by Monroe. And an intentional foul right there.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
And the 76ers call time here. They trail by 7. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what's your take?
Yeah, they can game plan all they want, but unless they can put more time on the clock, I think this bad boy's over.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they hope to get accomplished with this time out here.
We've got 22 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Connects! And now they trail by just 4.
It has been a 3-point barrage for them since halftime.
Not sure if it's been by design or simply by accident, but either way, it has been impressive.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game. Timeout called the 76ers. They're down by 6. There's 18 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And I'm not sure the 2-point bucket does much here. I think they got to go for 3.
Yeah, it's no-brainer, partner. I mean, that's their only choice. Shoot the 3 and hopefully get it down and then foul.
McConnell kicks to Embiid. And here's Covington from the arc. Craig Monroe with the rebound. And so they foul intentionally.
Shooting for Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo. 2 shots.
2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
You know, when it comes to versatility, the Greek freak, Giannis, is one of the very best in the league. I mean, his shooting, ball handling, and defense are really otherworldly.
Second one is good, getting both at the line, and it's an 8-point game. 7 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And here's Stauskas from the arc. That shot off. And so the Bucks take the win. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Everything his team asked of him, he delivered, which obviously isn't a surprise, but that makes it no less a beautiful thing to watch.
This is what you love to see out your star players. He's the guy you rely on to give a team a win. Both ends of the floor, shouldering the scoring load. He was a joy to watch tonight, Ernie.
Distributing the ball might not be his #1 duty, but tonight he was very creative. He nearly got double digits in assists. You have to love how alert he was and aware he was of his surroundings. So many of his passes led to high-quality shots.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, spectacular, just great. See you.
Good night.